What is going on, Roland Empire here, guys, to give you a video. I like to talk about today's topic. It's going to be on the movie Freaky. Freaky is a recent movie that came out that has played on the lore of what Freaky Friday is, the Freaky Friday element, but this one's called Freaky. Hey, how creative. And this one has actors like Katherine Newton, who I probably know her best from, what is it called? Cock blockers. I don't know. I know they try to censor the movie, but that one with the parents and the children and the prom and all. And then I know she has had a role in the society. I haven't checked that out, but I heard it was good. And then Vince Vaughn. He knows. You guys know who he is. He went from that Psycho movie to Wedding Crashers. He's now in Freaky, and this guy. He's more of a comedic actor, but it is nice to see him sort of take a serious film. But with the way this film is, I'm just like, this is one of those movies. I would bash this movie how bad it is, how whatever. But again, with the way I live right now, with the way I am living in my life, it's a good example of this is a decent movie that definitely can be better, but I enjoyed it. It was fun for what I know the premise is, and seeing Vince kind of act, Vince has this Jason Voorhees kind of presence, but the way, obviously, with the spin of how these characters are, the girl, she does a good job selling how introvert she is, but then seeing, how she develops throughout the whole movie, and then Vince kind of being just the character he is, and seeing these guys live the lives that they have, it makes for a fun act and all that. This I enjoyed how bit just satirical the movie is. At least in my eyes, I thought the movie was satirical, poking fun of tropes. You have the gays, the blacks, and all that. How it would go in a slasher. The tropes of a slasher film. So I'm glad that kind of stuff was aware. The friends that they have in this for the high school, they were charming. They are nice. I like that it did push certain things that you usually don't see. Didn't feel very spoon-fed for me. You'd think for a movie this would, but it just kind of acted like it was what it was. It was what it was, and it just represented. And seeing then also how, I'm surprised how much for a slasher, the slashing scenes it has, there's not a lot. I thought it would have been more. It's just maybe my prediction. But when you get to the intense scenes of what you have to with Vince, Vince's character and all, it works in some kind of what this movie is. It's dark, but it's a dark kind of comedy, and that's kind of what works. Seeing it just kind of go on how, because it's a certain length time, so it doesn't waste time. So that was a kind of a plus too, to kind of just enjoy the movie for what it was, and seeing how we go from the 3 act structure and how they have to capture the characters and just get the bodies to how they should be, realizing also the intentions of there's a not a boyfriend but a love interest, and how that works to Vince Vaughn's. Oh my god, it's just all fun and games, and again, it really is just poking the fun and all that, and seeing then also just how good job on the film work, how they directed it. Even though it's some kind of comedy, it took itself seriously to be okay, I like the way some shots were compositioned, how they were framed. It really did feel okay, we gotta do something to kind of make it look aesthetics, so the aesthetics were really fun and all. Just seeing them just kind of how a lot of this kind of mythology, the lore of what this film is supposed to be, interesting to know. I don't know how much of it could be very logical, but it's fun to know. And again, so a lot of Katherine Newton's family and friends factor into the film, that it serves for a nice way where it still has a bit of groundedness, the heart, definitely the heart. And then Vince Vaughn is the character that just kind of is there to kind of deliver what you need to, sort of like a MacGuffin, so to speak. And then a lot in the 3rd act, I was very surprised how long it went. You'd think it would have cut off where it did cut off, but no. And I was like, oh, man, this might really drag the film down more. It might be you were good how it was, but no, it added how it should. I didn't think I wanted to see what went on once a bit of the film was resolved, but it was nice. It really did add to just arcs of the actors, the characters and all, and just kind of seeing just how sort of how to stand up against sort of bullying. We'll pick just a word to give an idea, bullying and all. It's nice. That's why so The film was aware what it was. It wanted to kind of convey, deliver some messages, but I like how it knew it didn't beat you over the head. Just like, we have some things, but we know what the product is. I'm glad it wasn't too serious, and I'm glad the movie wasn't really a waste of time. And just, I would actually really check it out every now and then. It feels like it would be a nice film that you could see in the fall, you know, what goes on in the fall and the holidays. And just, it was likable enough for the characters. You know, they're one all fleshed out with deep mythology backgrounds and how, you know, they mean for the universe and all. But for what they serve, for what the cliche, the tropes, the stereotypicals, it was enjoyable, and it felt like it wasn't being harsh. It was just being fun, kind of poking a bit and all that. That I can emphasize. And that's what really carries on the movie, you know. I really wish I would have like picked off this movie, but I liked for how it was. I liked that it didn't waste its time. I enjoyed that, you know, you have a bit of what the girl is going through with her establishment, how it ends and all, and just realizing a bit to kind of get an idea of what Vince's character is all about, what Vince's character has to go through and all, and then seeing how Vince kind of wants sort of payback. I really don't want to get to spoilers and all that, but just something where he kind of, it's not done when you think. So it's nice to see them go at odds and all, and then just seeing it from where they go to a prom, where they go to a party, where there's certain scenes that take place in a house. It's just that kind of enjoyable, and I like that. You know, if you're gonna spend a bit for the product, you know, it's your money that's on the line somehow. If you're gonna rent it or something, I'm glad that you can get some valuable back, something good and all. And this film kind of feels like that. Okay, you know, it's just, all movies are different. The movie could, you know, could serve for a better plot and all, but it really was. It's just an enjoyable film that you know what you're getting yourself. But let me know, guys, you probably saw it and you didn't like it. You didn't care to see it again, or you saw it, you're like, it was good, and I might check it out maybe once a year. I can see things like that. I enjoyed the characters because they were like a nice stereotypical cliche kind of things, but I know they could be better, but they were fun because it felt very aware. And the film itself was enjoyable. I like that it realized what it kind of was, and you didn't waste time, and then you realize what the story was, and then eventually it wraps up, and the story, I think, is enough to be satisfying and all that. So all this in the comments below, guys, and as always, roll an empire, laugh, smile, repeat.